Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Joy News, your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. This is News Today. My name is Mapisa CBD. Coming up, GPRTU suspends strike. Moore's leadership is locked in a meeting with government over the demands for the reduction in the price of petroleum products. Meanwhile, hundreds of passengers have been left stranded at various lorry terminals in parts of the country and along the major roads due to lack of commercial vehicles to transport them to their various destinations. We'll give you more as they pour out their frustrations. And what's the status of the 2022 budget? Approved or not? We'll find out as the House resumes sitting tomorrow to continue with the impasse between the majority and minority on the fate of the budget, with particular reference to the concerns about the e-levy. We'll also bring you the outcome of the DBS Love Habitat Fair, which ended yesterday with patrons asking for an extension. We have details of these, plus sports, showbiz and business. You don't want to go anywhere. In our first story, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union has suspended its strike, which took effect this morning. Leadership is currently in a crunch meeting with government over demands for prices of fuel to be reduced. The announcement for the suspension came through a press statement issued a while ago. Let's see the full details. So it's dated December 6, 2021, and for immediate release, suspension of strike action. The intended strike action, which was scheduled to take effect today, Monday, 6 December 2021, has been suspended. The leadership of the union had been invited to the presidency during the course of the day. Developments will be communicated to members. And it ends with, we therefore entreat our cherished members to go back to their normal duties. And it's signed by Gottfried, who is the General Secretary of the GPRTU. It's been a chaotic morning for patrons of commercial vehicles, particularly in the national capital and parts of the country. The strike by the GPRTU bit hard as passengers were stranded at major lorry terminals and bus stops along major roads this morning. Here are some of them who spoke to the news team at Tema and Ashaiman.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
Yeah, fine.
Why are you going?
Please, they said the church they are not going to take us to school.
So where are you going? Where is your school?
Start from 24, so I'm walking to the school.
From Ashaiman?
Yeah, I'm from Lebanon.
Wow. How long has it taken you from Lebanon to this place?
Let's say 1 hour 30 minutes, something like that.
So how long will it take you to get to school?
If we got there, it's supposed to be 2 hours. If we got there, it's supposed to be 2 hours. But if you are walking, I'm sure to take 1 hour.
Anopano, if I come to Newtown, Ashaiman Newtown, EBC Ashaiman, Manyaka, and I miss Musa and I miss Bedroom Hospital, so antenatal boys so many, my sister, Yami Watch.
That is a say I would know how best it out.
I mean,
Hey, and I also Shabbos have been winning. Is that so bad?
Then the Migros and Cambenia, Tanibia, yes, I've been.
Some members of the GPRTU were also captured forcing defiant members to comply with the industrial action. Here are some scenes from Tema. On a lighter note, though, in Kaswa and Ashaman lorry terminals, the drivers had turned the arena into a football playing area. Check this out. In an area in Kaswa, a police vehicle was seen lifting stranded colleagues. My colleague Faustina Safo joins us live with more. Faustina, tell us about this police vehicle and how other passengers have been managing. Faustina, if you can hear me, tell me how the situation in Kaswa has been. All right, it seems like we've lost Faustina there on the line. But right now on your screens are visuals of a circle and overhead. And this is what's happening. As you can see, many pedestrians were stranded. But let's go to Papani. Papani in La Paz. Good morning. And how's the situation there?
So we are here at the Abekan La Paz Trotro station here. Well, from the earlier communication that we got, that they are going on a sit-down strike. As you can see, one bus is leaving the terminal right now. Well, over here, what I'm told is that they are decided to go ahead and begin to board passengers onto their vehicles. But not all of them are doing so. Earlier, I was at the Circle, Kwame Nkrumah Circle bus terminal, and over there it was confusion, same there, where half of the drivers were going about their day as normal, whereas some others were obeying the directive that they should go on a sit-down strike. But here at the Abekan La Paz station, MAPS, is a different situation altogether. Selectively, some of the buses cannot take some of the routes. And I'll speak to the station master here, who will explain to me some of the situations that we are dealing with here. So I want to believe that now you are clear. You are clear to do work today. Now, Sisiano minim say cars be mono omon ko baby chem na catch me say cars be mono omon ko baby because in some works are quite so.
Sisia be a physical problem here sprinters and a shaman. Sisia de tema and pram no etimi ko. Na ni nyina say anopa no empenefo say yentwen yenya sit down demonstration. Te da wa phone na was station a ye twen empenefo don beka. The one regional secretariat penina kasa bai say yenya adwuma. Enti sa adwuma na o se yenya no afina da for information say ebinom a omonya drivers e de omo ahye ade no mu ss cars na ade enti even omo slow say mbe load akọ the regional chairman mama instructions say mini station master say me mom load but that for load no mo slow on the say afide ye hu say emu ada ho a baby a hoda on the course say but baby a ho na ho na ye so mo ntwen kakra because we all kwa obi omunye Davis no more agim no more sell cars. This is a situation no.
So what he's telling me essentially is that at the moment they've been cleared to do some work. However, there are fears on some of the routes that they take, and he mentioned some of them. I asked him again that on those routes they are getting people who are vandalizing the vehicles of some of their drivers here. So they've decided to take caution. Some of those routes they will not be using anytime soon. So until Sakwan Mienu na but infani bio.
Sisi ade bebe ye lodu kono de mienu pe ashama sisi am no ka station ono ka bia nyina on lodu na sprinters so ya ma information say honso ebinum ya ade emfata ye mpanim fo no so en support sa ade no na if granya da ba fo no na ye da fo no ye no mu nyina akasa ya ansa na ye say ye twen mpanim fo say no mo ma ye kwan ya adwuma panin no say mpanim fo no mo ko transe aka ho asem nti ye nya adwuma na afi ye ma ye solve sa problem na wo no.
So he mentioned that at least Ashaman and one other place, no car will be leaving this particular station, the Abekan La Paz station, to that place because of the challenges they are having with some people who are vandalizing their vehicles here. So MAPS, the situation here at La Paz seems not to be so different. The strike just behind here is still largely enforced, but over here he says they'll be giving clearance to go ahead and do some work.
Right, so that's my colleague Michael Ashali, and he is in La Paz. But let's go back to Kaswa, and in an area there, a police vehicle was seen lifting stranded passengers. My colleague Faustina Safo joins us live with more. Faustina, tell us about this police vehicle and how other passengers have been managing.
Well, it's a sad thing here at Kaswa Station. Dozens of residents, they remain stranded as drivers say they will not move their vehicle. In fact, I could see some parents trying to take their children to school. I understand today they have exams. Unfortunately, they will have to miss their paper maps. It's a sad thing here. Now, for some of the taxi drivers, they are offering short distance journeys. So if you're moving to places like Amamfrom or Galilea or the Tuba Junction, they could take you there, but obviously you will have to pay more. And also, the police van we saw a few minutes ago tried to salvage the situation because they saw that too many people were trying to get a vehicle to go to work and they couldn't. And so I could see a driver get down from the police van and he was asking if you're going to short distances like a man from Tuba Junction, they could offer you a lift. MAPS doesn't try to make their way into the bus. I tell you, it was blows for blows because they knew that this was their only chance. And that even infuriated some of the drivers around who felt that the police were trying to sabotage their strike action.
And now, since the strike has been suspended, what's been the situation on the ground?
Well, the drivers here said they're waiting for official communication from their station masters before they can take that document seriously. They believe that the government needs to listen to their calls. It's been long coming. They have been asking for a reduction in fuel prices. It has not happened. Every time they say they've been having celebrations backdoor, and it still happens to be the same. So they're saying unless their station master calls them officially to have a meeting to tell them to suspend the strike, nobody moved.
All right, thank you very much, Faustina, and she is reporting from Kaswa. Let's go to the Ashanti region. In Kumasi, for instance, while some had parked their cars, others were busy working. Some of their colleagues were not enthused about the development. Nanayao Jima joins us live with the latest. Nanayao, tell us about the current situation.
So in Kumasi, the strike is not biting as other regions are experiencing. This morning, according to some of the drivers, they received a message from their leadership not to go on with the strike as planned earlier because they were in a meeting with government trying to resolve the issue. So in Kumasi, most of the commercial drivers were working this morning and commuters didn't have any challenge getting vehicles to their respective destinations. At Tech Junction, for instance, the supply of vehicles or the vehicles at Tech Junction exceeded the people who had come to for the service of these drivers. So it means that Kumasi didn't experience a difficulty with transportation as it is in other areas. And as of now that the strike has been called off, a number of drivers have also are back on the road. Some of them were expecting the strike action to be extended to Kumasi. They were expecting their leadership to announce a strike later in the day, especially in the evening, so that Kumasi will also experience what other regions are experiencing. But unfortunately, the strike has been called off.
All right, thank you very much, Nana, and he's in Kumasi. From the Ashanti region, let's go to the Volta region. Correspondent Ivy Setuju has been speaking with some drivers and their leaders in the region.
Okay. Oh, well, I can't tell. So it's a general mean.
Union Caminele. GPRC. Oh. I bet. Kaka Madumo. Okay. To put a gun on the okay.
Ivy joins me on the line. Ivy, what exactly are the drivers saying in that video?
Okay, so I was asking them why some people or some drivers were working. He was saying that he was not sure why they were working. Some of them do not belong to the unions, that's the cooperative, GPRTU, and FOTWA. So that is the reason why maybe some of them are working. He also said that some of them don't park or they are not at the various stations, so they just flood the road from Sogakope, sometimes from Accra, and then they start working. So they don't come to the station to load. So those people do not belong to them. So I saw a lot of them arrive from Pukon, so in the Ketu South, and then also to Denu to Aflau working. When I go to the station, the main station of Aflau, I realized just a few cars or buses are parked, were parked at the station, and some of them were loaded. But when I asked the drivers, they said they were not loaded. It was just a normal thing, and that they were not going to work until their leadership said otherwise.
All right, thank you very much, Ivy. The situation is not different in the northern region, and I have Tamale drivers boycott strike as they wait for official statement from their superior, but some have been continuing with their work. Let's go to Martina Bugri. And Martina, what's the situation on the ground right now?
There's mixed reactions to the declaration of strike in the Tamale metropolis. While some have decided to work, others have refused to work.
Now, earlier on in the morning, I was told that they were communicating with their national executive, that's the regional executive and the national executive, to decide whether they go on strike or not. Whilst doing that, the regional directed that they can work. But some of the members disagreed. They wanted all of them to stop working. And that resulted in something this afternoon. And we are told that they were at the station stopping people from boarding vehicles. So what they did was that they decided to move from the station outside to the street and then to pick passengers. Some of the drivers moved out of when you are exiting the metropolis and mounted a barrier, and they were stopping vehicles and getting people out of these vehicles. The police was called and they came in and arrested them. As we speak now, the police are doing the screening, and we are told that they will be presented to the court this afternoon.
All right, thank you very much, Martina, from the Northern region. So we have had a 360 and nationwide view of how the strike affected various people. But trending on number one is GPRTU, Kaswa, hashtag fix the country. Also, Trotro is trending depending on the people you follow. La Paz is also trending. Kumase is also trending. Obviously, we know that in Kaswa, La Paz and Kumase, they were really affected by that. At least we have found a new fix for Black Stars amid the commercial driver strike over fuel prices. Workers walking to work while drivers and mates turn Kaswa Trotro into a football park. And that one is from Kenneth Dako. And this one, Kaswa police is still looking for the man who painted this dog. Okay, yeah, that's what he's talking about. But let's go to PN, who says, Nana from Posta says, 4 more for Nana is now walking from Kaswa to La Paz. I say more. Abena Mole says, we like Kaswa driver, no hear of the strike. Early morning traffic. At K, Turner says people will now understand when the Bible said Jesus walked from Jerusalem to Galilee, walking from La Paz to Kaswa. And K Notel is that. M Bank says kindly blame the Trotro drivers for the situation at Kaswa, Medina, La Paz, etc. and leave Akufo-Addo out of this. He's not a car owner and he doesn't control the regulation of fuel prices. The global market does. It was only, okay, then we won't finish reading that tweet. At Jeff_Time says, 4 more to do more is walking from Kaswa to La Paz. At K Junior, number 10 says, after walking from Kaswa to Circle to buy Sobolo, that's how your shoes turn out. So that's what people are talking about on Twitter. And you can also follow the conversation at Joy News on TV. This is Joy News Today with me, Mabrita Sibidi. We're going to take a quick breather. We'll be back with more. Thank you for staying with us. Now, the Ghana Health Service has rolled out strategies to get the majority of the population vaccinated against COVID-19. But what is the state of voluntary response to the inoculation exercise? Anita Sewa engaged some interest groups on compliance.
Boys, not his real name. A taxi driver at Tech Junction sits in his car unperturbed about the ongoing COVID-19 vaccination exercise. The 32-year-old driver is unwilling to take the COVID jab.
I haven't taken my jab because I am not sick. I think you only take the jab when you are sick. I am not sick, so I don't see why I should get vaccinated.
He believes the virus does not exist.
I don't know what COVID-19 is. I don't believe it exists, so I'm not going to take the jab.
Other commercial drivers are skeptical of the COVID-19 vaccine due to conspiracy theories that were made up. Most of them are yet to decide whether to take the vaccine or not.
To me, I know they are now say slow me home kakra, now say me slow kakra. But actually no me home say
Originally, I was scared, but later I realized it has no extreme effect. I'm yet to decide whether to go take it or not.
Authorities at the tech station revealed drivers have been educated and warned to take the jab. James Boachi Yadom is the station master at Tech Junction.
I have informed all the drivers here to go get their jobs.
Metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies across the country say the turnout for the second dose of vaccines has been slow. They have called on the government to intensify the education on the COVID-19 protocols and vaccination.
So I can see it's progressing steadily, but the turnout is not as when the pandemic was on the rise that people were rushing to come and take the vaccines. People are taking it, but they are not rushing for it as you will envisage or you want them to, so that we can all be safe. I think the reason has to do with the sensitization has gone down.
For the protocols, I can say yes and no. It's like, even the national level, it seems that some things have been relaxed. Initially, there were no funerals. Initially, there were no public gatherings. But now those things are there. And because those things are there, people also think that they can also stop wearing the nose masks, the hand sanitizing, and the rest.
Increased public education remains critical for the unperturbed Ghanaian, like boys to appreciate the safety of the COVID-19 vaccine. Anita Sewa Ajuga's report read to you.
The 2021 edition of the Love FM DBS Habitat Fair held in Kumasi has ended with patrons and exhibitors impressed with patronage. The three-day event brought together experts and relevant players in the housing industry to help provide solutions to the housing needs of people in Kumasi. Prince Apia was there and now reports.
So it's been 3 days here at the Kumasi City Mall. The Love FM DBS Habitat Fair has been an exciting and impressive 3 days for the exhibitors who have been very much excited about the patronage so far.
I think it has been a great fair by all standards. We are at Golden Mantec Limited. We manufacture light gauge steel trusses and roofing sheets. And for the past 3 days, we have a lot of people coming in. Some who even have no idea that now people are not roofing with wood anymore. And we are all going into light gauge steel, all because we are not even getting quality wood in the first place. So we are grateful to Multimedia for organizing this fair. It has been a very fruitful one.
This is means of escape window that the center have manufactured to help the Ghanaians in terms of when there's fire outbreak in the room, whereby you can't go out through the fire. So we created this or made this in such a way that when there's fire outbreak, you can just use this to escape from the room. You can close it like this with a locker inside, whereby if somebody's outside, he cannot open it. But when you are inside and there's fire outbreak, you just pull your lock, then you open. At the end of the day, you just climb like this, then you escape.
If you have any form of leakages, or even before you put the sheets on it, we can check the alignment of the purlins and the rafters. We are here for you.
Homeland Ghana is about kitchenwares, everything in the kitchen. So we have your glasswares, you have your cooking wares, everything that you need for your kitchen. At Homeland Ghana, we believe that for your home to be happy, it should come from the kitchen. So we say happy home, happy kitchen. So far, it has been good. We have people coming in to see the things we have and they are happy about them. And our things are also affordable. so they're able to buy some for their kitchen.
We are suppliers and installers of natural and engineered stone. We deal in granite, marble, quartz, decton, and we even make terrazzo. Anything from kitchen countertops, tables and furniture, wall cladding, flooring, vanities, washroom vanities, dining tables, any application you can use the stone for, we can apply it.
The theme for 3 days have been to buy or to build, and of course, it has been the main focus of exhibitors, organizers, and the patrons here. My name is Prince Apia, reporting from the Kumasi City Mall, Ashanti region.
And back here in Accra, it's been a back and forth in Parliament as minority and majority remain unsure about the fate of the 2022 budget. The e-levy has been the bigger bone of contention for both sides to chart a way forward for the budget. Tomorrow, the House will resume sitting. And what will they be doing is a question on a lot of people's minds. My colleague, Kwesi Parker-Wilson, joins us live. So, Parker, what's the status of the budget now following the work of the committee set up last week, Thursday? So we've lost Kwesi Parker-Wilson, but we'll try get him there so that he gives us an update of what's happening tomorrow, because Parliament will resume sitting. As we all know, we've been very worried about the budget, and he joins me live on the phone. Kwesi Parker-Wilson, what is the update with the budget since the committee was set up last week, Thursday? Kwesi Parker-Wilson, can you hear me? Kwesi Parker-Wilson, if you can hear me, the people need an update of what's happening with the budget since the House is resuming tomorrow. So if you can hear me, what is the update and what is the status of the budget, especially because last week, Thursday, a committee was set up. So what's the update with that?
Right, so we know that the team that expected to come to the meeting today. As I speak to you, they are still in the meeting, but there's one thing that is clear, that I've resolved to ensure that the chaos that we witnessed last Wednesday.
I'm going to need you to reposition yourself because your line is terrible and we... Okay.
And
Parker, if you can hear me, I'm going to need you to reposition yourself because the network is terrible and we really want to know what is going to happen tomorrow in regards to the budget and what the minority and majority have decided. All right, let's go to the phone lines. He joins me on the phone lines, hoping for a better connection. Parker, can you just repeat what you said?
All right, so I was telling you about the meeting that's currently ongoing. The 20-member committee, they are still in the meeting. They are expected to conclude their meeting today and, of course, come out with some resolution. But what we know for now is that they've all agreed that going forward, the chaos that we witnessed last Wednesday should not recur. Now, the point is that when some of these things happen, that disturbances, it undermines the authority of Parliament. We know that the Public Affairs Director of the House has come out to render an unqualified apology to Ghanaians. The MP says this is the last time we need to see some of these things. So clearly, they are convinced in their minds that going forward, we will not, as a nation, see any kind of or witness any kind of disturbances in the chamber. Now, if you are talking about the budget in itself, what I can say is that the minority is still clear in their minds that the budget has not been approved. And you recall that last Wednesday, just before the chaos, there was a motion before the House to set aside the approval of the budget by just one-sided majority House. The minority says tomorrow when they return or reconvene back to Parliament, they are going to push for the motion again to be held by the Speaker, and that a question should be put. When the question is put, then the members of the House would then have to vote on it. So that is when we will find out or establish whether the budget has been approved or rejected. So the minority is clear in their minds. And finally, we are told that the finance minister is yet to give some concessions, and the minority, from our understanding, when the concessions are made and it is clear that their demands have been listened to from government, or of course adhered to by the government, then they can shift position. But for now, they remain stiff, they remain where they are, that the e-levy must be taken off, and that there shouldn't be anything about imposition of e-levy going forward in the 2022 budget.
All right, thank you very much. That's my colleague, Kwesi Parker-Wilson, giving us an update or giving us a view of what to expect tomorrow as Parliament resumes sitting. This is still Joy News today. I'm going to take a break. We'll be back with more.
Good afternoon. Time now for sports on Joy News today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. A member of the 54 clubs that signed a resolution demanding a review of the statutes of the Ghana Football Association has described as offensive the decision of the football governing body to introduce a Super League to their competitions without recourse to the statutes. Wilfred Kweku Osei, known as Palmer, claims the FA is equating delegates to clubs, which is contrary to their regulations.
If you look at our statutes, there is no legal basis for introduction of the 18 Club League. It's an aspect of the transitional provision that has elapsed, that the executives would like to use as the basis of their implementation of that particular policy. And we find it very offensive in the sense that when you go through the 816 that they are relying on, it doesn't mention or talk about 18 Club League. What it refers to is the Division 1 delegates being reduced from 48 to 18 delegates. So how can anybody equate delegates to clubs? Which means that there is a motive or sinister motive behind this, and that is to reduce the electoral college that we have. Any democracy worth its salt will always try and expand the electoral college and not to reduce it. And even the 816 that the entire 81 that we feel has elapsed, if they want to apply the 816, it doesn't sit well with the democratic dispensation that we are trying to practice at the FA. It's against corporate governance, and we don't think it's well intended. That is how come we oppose to that. But contrary to opinion, that is not the only aspect of the statutes that members are opposed to. We have raised varied issues with regard to the Executive Council composition, that we feel that some members will have to come on board. You ask yourself, are the regional FA's views being well represented at that level? No, 2 people cannot represent the views of 10 people. The coaches, do they have their views being represented? No. The players or PFAG, are they making any contribution to the governance structure of the FA? Beach soccer, futsal, all these people are on the fringes so far as governance is concerned at the FA. And we feel that this must be brought to Extraordinary Congress for members to deliberate on it and make the necessary amendments that will advance the course of development of football in the country.
And after going 4 matches without a defeat in the Ghana Premier League, Kumasi Asante Kotoko's unbeaten run came to an end on Sunday when Zubairu Ibrahim of King Faisal scored a hat-trick as the Porcupine fell to a 3-2 loss. Head coach of Asante Kotoko, Prosper Nate Argum, says despite the performance of his team, he felt that they did not take the opportunities that came their way.
I think we played well. We created the chances. We could have converted those chances. We couldn't convert those chances. And in the game of football, if you don't convert your chances, that's what happened. When we started the game, I think we were flat. So they caught us 2 times on the break. And I think those cross passes, they were able to connect them. I mean, that's it.
Now, there were other shout of calls, several calls in the game, penalty calls and all of that. What do you make of those calls in the game there?
Yeah, from where I stood, it was a penalty. I mean, the referee took a penalty.
What did you see?
Yeah, I saw a penalty. The ball hit the hand. So I don't know what decision else he took. He can only explain. I don't know. He's the only person who can explain. But the ball hit the hand. It was a foul in the penalty area. And per the laws of the game, when the ball hits the hand in the penalty area, it's a penalty. He took it only for the assistant 2 who is far away and the 4th referee to tell him that it wasn't a penalty. The assistant 1. The assistant 2 moved to the line to award a penalty. But
that is your sport for now, but we do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi.
Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News. Today, now gospel musician Diana Hamilton on Sunday launched her much anticipated Grace album at a dinner and fundraising event at the Mervyn Peak Hotel in Accra. According to the musician, proceeds from this event will be used to build a 5 classroom block in the OT region. There's more in the following report.
This fundraising is going to help others who don't have the means, especially what she told us about the education, how she's going to invest whatever people are sowing into education to enhance people's life.
When you are supporting her, when you are giving into anything she does, you would know you're not throwing your money away, but you are using it to support the kingdom of God. So I do it because I believe in her gift, I believe in her ministration, and I believe she's being used by God.
It was an intimate experience for some fans and friends of gospel musician Diana Hamilton as they were treated to good music and food. But not only that, the evening saw the launch of the musician's new album, Grace.
How many songs do we have on that album? Because we know that we have 2 songs that are playing off the album. How many songs do we have on the album? How can we get the album?
Okay, so I might not be able to tell you how many songs because I have hymn medleys, I have worship medleys, and I have about 7 other individual tracks on it. But it's a fully loaded album.
Proceeds from this event, according to the musician, will go to support the building of a 5 classroom block for some pupils in the OT region.
I think that the corporate nature of it makes it stand out.
Of course, the path that she's charting, that she wants to help the needy. The Bible says that I was naked, you didn't clothe me. I was sick, you didn't cater for me. And so, this is a great and a noble cause that she's charting. Everybody must come on board and support it. So,
simplicity, the intensity, the kind of people who were there were people who loved Diana. Notwithstanding, there are a lot of people who love her who were not there though. But you could tell that everybody was there for a reason. The fact that we love what she's doing, and we appreciate her, so we were here to support her. And I could see a lot of people around who made it clear that they were there to just be there for her.
This is Samira Baumia, Second Lady of the Republic of Ghana. Nana Adwoa Window and other dignitaries were at hand to support the initiative. The Grace album, according to Diana Hamilton, will be a blessing to all.
Away from Diana, musician Kofi Kinata over the weekend treated the corporate world to an unforgettable night of music at the Plus 233 Jazz Bar in Accra. This event, according to him, is to ensure his fans in Accra do not miss out on his annual Made in Tadi event held in the Western region.
It was something that I realized that the fan base, you know, we can't focus on the streets only because you need to satisfy. It was something for some people, those who cannot then watch me perform, like who cannot stay awake for this for the I would say the corporate fans.
I saw you on stage and I saw the pride in your eyes. How proud are you of Kofi Kinata?
Well, words can't express, you know, to see something manifest into something that you've predicted, you know, words can't express how great I feel, you know, to have seen him come from a very young age. He's still quite young, but then to have him and for him to have listened and taken most of the very important things we said to him serious. Full band, you know, he came to us as a rapper. That's how it started, and today he's on stage as a full musician doing his thing. And I can say I can only wish him all the best. And like I said on the stage, we know him from childhood, so we know.
On that note, we end Showbiz here on Joy News today. My name is Becky. Over to you, Maps.
Thank you very much, Becky. And that's where we draw the curtains on Joy News today. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. Also visit all our social media platforms. We are Joy News on TV. My name is Mapita CBD. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.